Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. We have Teslyn Figaro on the line. Good morning, Tez.
Good morning, DJ NV, Charlamagne the God.
Peace, Taz, the Hood Whisperer.
All right.
Yes.
Let's get right to it now. Last night in sports, NBA, the Celtics beat the Hawks 119-106. They lead the series 2-0. Cavaliers beat the Knicks last night. They tied the series 1-1. And the Suns beat the Clippers. They tied the series 1-1 as well.
And Draymond won't be playing in Game 3, right?
No, Draymond is suspended. We'll give you updates on that in the rumors because we got so much to talk about. Now, we were talking about the parking garage that collapsed in New York City last night. It was in Lower Manhattan, right next to Pace University. So one died, multiple injured. They said this building is 100 years old and had open violations.
That's horrible.
So they're trying to see what those open violations were to see if somebody didn't do their job and maybe would have protected those people. They said tons of cars will be stuck up there for a long time. So, like I said, one person died and 5 are injured.
And those people that got injured and that person that died, God bless them. Boy, they about to get paid. Boy, they about to get paid. They about to sue the city, something crazy.
Absolutely. Now, Tez, what happened with those 2 Texas cheerleaders?
Yeah, once again, dealing with gun violence in America is becoming an everyday thing, unfortunately. 2 Texas cheerleaders were shot after one of them said they mistakenly got in the wrong vehicle in a parking lot early Tuesday morning after practice. Heather Rolfe said on Instagram Live that she and 3 of her other cheerleading friends had completed practice when they went to a carpool lot. Rolfe said she got out of her friend's car and then opened up the door to a car she thought was her own, but a man was in the passenger seat. She said that she got out of the car and then back into her friend's vehicle. When the man approached their vehicle, Rolfe rolled down the window to apologize and the man began to shoot. Now, one of the victims was treated and released at the scene and the other is in critical condition. Now, the police department say that they have arrested 25-year-old Tello Rodriguez Jr., who was arrested for the shootings and charged him with deadly conduct, which is a 3rd-degree felony.
This is horrible. You know, my daughter's a competitive cheerleader, so, you know,
Mine too.
Once again, this is one of those things that gives you parental paranoia, but this is absolutely gun violence, but this is why all of this stuff is a complicated issue, because to me, the person that did this is dealing with some other psychological issues. Like, something happened to people psychologically after COVID. Like, people was nuts before, but mentally and emotionally, something happened that is causing people's fuses to be way shorter than usual, because that right there is absolutely no reason to fire off on someone. And I know it's easy just to say, oh, this is just another act of gun violence, but this is one of those times to remember, you know, guns don't kill people. Unstable people with guns kill people, because clearly something was wrong with this individual psychologically.
But how do we stop that, though? I don't know. What do we do?
I mean, that's the difficult part. And I was also going to say this, you know, a lot of things that really bothers me is that, like, if you go to certain states, when you turn 21, you could purchase a firearm, right? You don't have to watch any videos. You don't have to learn any laws. You don't have to do anything. I remember I went to Hampton University, and at 21, when I turned 21, I was a junior, and I bought a handgun, which I didn't need at the time. I didn't know anything about the rules. But now, when I tried to get my license for New York and New Jersey, which I got, I had to take a class which taught me the rules and regulations of when I can use that gun, the purpose of using that gun, what will get me locked up if I use that gun and if I don't. And I think a lot of people don't know those rules and regulations. I think they buy a gun at 21 and they feel like if they feel any which way they could pop somebody, which is not the case at all.
That is very true. But I just want to know what else was going on with this individual, because psychologically something made him snap. Like, this dude had some other issues going on, you know, way before this situation happened.
Right. Now, I think we got a little time for the Chicago story. I seen Chicago wilding out, Tez.
Yeah, all weekend long, folks have been talking about the teen takeover in downtown Chicago. And yesterday, some new video emerged showing a panicked woman who was terrorized by a mob of young people who attacked, beat, and robbed her. And the video shows a woman appearing to enter her apartment building. But before she gets inside, the woman is surrounded by a large group of people who block the doorway and begin to strike her several times before taking her personal property and then fleeing in an unknown direction. Now, there have been several arrests over the weekend, but no arrests have been made in this particular incident. Now, Mayor Lori Lightfoot said that parents and guardians must know where their children are, and they are responsible for their actions. But the new mayor-elect, Brandon Johnson, said, in no way do I condone the destructive activity. It is unacceptable. It has no place in our city. However, it is not constructive to demonize youth who have otherwise been starved of opportunities in our communities. So I wanted to, ask you guys in the family, is this a city issue, or or is this not, having kids don't have enough to do, or is this just parenting, a parenting issue? Because Mayor-elect Brandon Johnson was criticized heavily about they said, he's not taking responsibility. He's just being progressive, and, he ran on a progressive platform.
I think it's just all of those things.
I think it's
all of those things.
All those things at one time.
Yeah, it's all of those things. And I'm gonna tell you what else it gets tricky. I wish that woman had a gun. I wish she had a gun to protect herself.
I was going to say the same thing.
And if she had one and would have fired off on one of those kids, you can't be mad at her at all. Not in no way, shape, or form. Come on, man. You attack me. Come on, man. Stop. Knock it off. Now, we're not going to be crazy here.
You could have punched me in my head. I could have fell on the floor, knocked out, and died. Yeah,
that's somebody's mama. That's somebody's sister. That's somebody's aunt.
I wish she would have been able to protect herself.
I wish she could have protected herself with a firearm.
Absolutely.
I don't want to hear nothing else. Don't at somebody else, because I don't even check Twitter.
No, I'm with you. And like you said, Tez, yes, it's also parenting. You have to know where your kids are. My dad knew where I was, and at sometimes he checked where I was. He didn't go to lunch, and he made sure I was actually on the bus heading home. And I do the same to my kids. I watch them.
It's that, and the city should have more resources for these kids. They should have more things for these kids to do. I know that was late at night, but still, have more after-school programs. Put these kids in trade school for free. Something.
Right.
Get these kids something to do. I think it's all of those things. It's not just one issue.
Yeah. Well, as a result, just as so people know, 15 people, 9 adults, 6 juveniles have been arrested for reckless behavior, and actually two teenage males, 16 and 17, were shot during all of this over the weekend. So a lot going on in Chicago.
My goodness. All right. Well, that is front page news. Now, Tez, we'll see you in a little bit.
Absolutely.
All right. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Call us up right now.
And when y'all call, remember y'all on BET.
That's right. It's The Breakfast Club on BET. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. It's time for some front page news. We have Tezlyn Figaro back with us. Good morning, Tez.
Good morning, DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God, and BET.
That's right.
Want to make sure I say it.
And let's start off with some quick sports. Now, the Celtics beat the Hawks last night, 119-106. They lead the series 2-0. The Cavaliers beat the Knicks, tied the series 1-1. And the Suns beat the Clippers 123-109. They tied the series as well. Now, Fox News is spending some money, huh? Some bread.
Oh, yeah. Breaking big bread. Fox Corporation and its cable networks agreed to pay $787 million to Dominion Voting Systems for settling a defamation lawsuit over false claims that Dominion's machines swayed the outcome of the 2020 presidential election. Now, the settlement, which came after the jury was seated, prevented the trial that would have had top Fox TV host and the network boss, Murdoch, publicly testifying. The Dominion CEO said that this was Fox admitting to telling lies, but that statement in itself is a lie because Fox didn't admit to anything. Right. What they said was, we acknowledge the court's rulings of finding certain claims about Dominion to be false, and that this settlement reflects Fox's continued commitment to the highest journalistic standards. So they didn't admit anything. On-air talent also doesn't have to admit anything, and liberals are upset by this. They feel like Dominion, let down the American people and didn't take advantage of this opportunity to get it on record.
Tell liberals shut up. What's impressive is that Fox is not going to apologize. They're not going to admit to any guilt. They're just going to act like it didn't happen. And guess what? None of their viewers are going anywhere. That's why I'm telling liberals to shut up, because it doesn't even matter. Their viewers do not care. Their viewers are still going to tune in. And guess what else? The advertisers don't care, because as long as Fox has the viewers, the advertisers ain't going nowhere.
Well, there you go, liberals.
Now, what's going on with Trump?
Yes.
And his gang.
Yeah, some real heavy gang banging going on with the Republicans who are upset with Donald Trump's indictment. They are escalating their war by trying to embarrass Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, who charged, obviously, we know Donald Trump earlier this month. Now, their goal is to embarrass him by showing up in his city and trying to show that, hey, you're not focused on crime. You're too busy focused on Donald Trump. So the House Judiciary Committee, led by Ohio Republican Jim Jordan, Jordan held a meeting on Monday near Bragg's office to examine the pro-crime and anti-victim policies of New York. Jordan said that New York City has lost its way when it's come to fighting crime and upholding the law, and that in Manhattan, the scales of justice are weighed down by politics. Democrats said that the hearing was a partisan stunt aimed at the anger at Manhattan's first Black district attorney, Alvin Bragg. Mayor Eric Adams and Democrats pointed out that Republicans are wasting taxpayer dollars and that New York crime is lower than other major cities. Take a listen.
Americans' taxpayers' dollars are being used to come here on this junket to do an examination of the safest big city in America.
Based on your review of crime data, does New York have a higher or lower rate of violent crime than Florida?
Lower.
And what about Louisiana?
Lower.
I mean, two things can be true, right? Like Trump can break the law and be held accountable, right? And New York City could do a lot more in regard to crime. I don't know what statistics say. I just know what I go outside and feel every day. I know the energy that I feel every day. You feel like New York is safe, Envy?
Not at all.
At all.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? They can scream statistics all they want and tell me that other cities are safer or tell me that this is the safest city. I'm out here. I see it. I feel it. So, you know.
Yeah, well, we know that Jim Jordan, he's not concerned, about if it's safe or not. This is just, coming down and trying to get some retaliation for what they've done to Trump, which you said, remember, Charlamagne, you said that because they went after Trump, that we would see more of this. So this is just plain old gangbanging. You went after OG Trump, so the YG Jim Jordan is coming on down and rolling up on the set and putting in a little bit of work.
Let me tell you something. If the Democratic candidate is indeed going to be Biden and Biden going to run again, nobody going to be out campaigning harder for him than Alvin Bragg. Because Alvin Bragg got to make sure Donald Trump don't get back in that White House. Because if Donald Trump get back in that White House, Alvin Bragg going to jail. You hear me?
Somehow or another. Yes, he is.
You ain't even got to worry about that.
All right. Well, thank you, Tez. And that is Front Page News.
And make sure you subscribe to Tezlyn Figaro's Straight Shot, No Chaser podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio Podcast Network. And come see Tez this Saturday at the first ever Black Effect Podcast Festival in Atlanta. It is sold out. So we'll see you on Saturday.
All right. Now, when we come back, let's open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051. Let's talk Marcus Houston. Now, Marcus Houston's been all over the news when it was recently revealed that he married his girlfriend when she was 19 and he was 38. I guess they were cool or together beforehand, but he didn't marry her until she was of age. And he's saying the reason that he didn't marry a woman his age is because women his age come with baggage.
Whoa. Why would he choose such violence?
He says women that are my age, they kind of have a different outlook on life. Like a lot of women my age are very independent. They are like, I don't need a man to do this for me. I could do this myself. All right, let's take your calls. 800-585-1051. Fellas, do you agree?
Boy. Fellas, do you want to unalive yourself this morning? that should be the question.
Fellas, do you agree? Let's talk about it. Ladies, how you feel about it? Let's talk about it. Phone lines are wide open. It's The Breakfast Club on BET.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.